What up, everybody? It's iPadBeatmaking.com, and today we are going to go over a easy to learn melody hack that will guarantee that you are able to beat writer's block every single time. And for this tutorial, we are going to use Atom 2 inside of Nano Studio 2, but you can use Atom 2 inside of any DAW that hosts AUV3 MIDI effects. So this will work in Beatmaker 3, AUM, Loopy Pro, Nano Studio 2, MTS, Audio Evolution Mobile, so on and so on. So with that being said, we are going to start right now. So the first thing we're going to do is launch our DAW. And I've got a session here in Nano Studio 2, and I've got my MIDI already pre-routed to be able to go from Atom Piano Roll 2 directly onto the main track. If you want to know how to do that inside of Nano Studio 2, be sure to check out this video here where we cover how to route it for free on iPhone and iPad with StreamBiter. But anyways, with all that said, let's get started. So the first thing that we are going to do is pick an AUV3, and sometimes this is best done with, say, a piano sample, and we can always go back and change the sample after the fact, but sometimes it's just best to start with a piano sample. So we will start with that sample from Pure Synth Platinum Emotional Rain, and we've got our MIDI and our AUV3 instrument track already linked in terms of the routing. I built this template already, and again, watch that video that I referenced earlier to learn how to do this. But the MIDI is going to go from here into this track here when we print it to the timeline. So on this track, we are free to add whatever MIDI effects we want, and the way that I've got it labeled here to know what's what is everything's color coded. So its companion MIDI track is going to be color coded to match the AU instrument track. But anyways, let's get started in Atom 2. Now for this workflow, you can use a mouse or your finger, but I really recommend having an Apple Pencil. To me, it's the funnest way to work in this. If you don't have an Apple Pencil, obviously your finger will work, especially if you use the sausage finger settings by going to set config. You can choose sausage fingers, set style, you can choose sausage fonts, and you will be able to have a bigger screen to work with, on top of the fact that Atom supports pinch to zoom. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is pick a scale. I'm just going to go with A sharp minor, and from there we will go ahead and draw out a chord. And to draw out a chord, we will just skip a note in the scale, go up to the next one, skip a note in the scale, go up to the next one. Now we can draw the chord up, or we could draw it down. So this will work either way. We can draw the chord up, or we could draw it down. Now if we were to draw it down, we could then go ahead and use these as the root note for what we're doing. So it would go, and I'll go ahead and draw that in, switch to add, draw that in, and this is going to be our root note. So this is what it would sound like out the root. All right, so we got that. Now we can build out a chord, and to build out a chord, we will just skip every other note in the scale. And right now we have a minor chord we built, and we will keep going up even more, kind of make this a really rich full chord. And we will do this again, keep building it up, and we can go ahead and put these here. So we hear how that sounds, does not sound bad at all. And just keep on building the chord, drawing it in. And again, I like doing this with an Apple Pencil, and let's see how that sounds. And we can kind of hear how it's going to work already. And let's go up one more, up one more. So to me, that already sounds pretty good at the start. So what I will do is put this on the clipboard. Let's go ahead and copy that. And we got that built there. So on this next instrument, I will go ahead and use, let's see, it's going to Atom. Let's paste our data in. Paste it start. So we've got that already pasted in. We can go ahead and just mute this for now. And for an instrument, I'm thinking I'm going to do something inside of mood units. I've kind of been liking how that stuff sounds lately, the mood unit stuff. So let's see what piano stuff they've got. Kind of liking that vibe, just real airy. But I'm gonna mute that for now because the focus is on creating a melody. So I will go ahead and go back into Atom Piano Roll 2, go back to my clipboard, paste at start again, and from here I'll go ahead and shorten all these MIDI clips, and ideally we want it to be about as long as these ones are right here in order to work with. So I'll go ahead and take these and shorten them, take these and shorten them, and from here we can just kind of sort of randomly spread them out. And I say kind of sort of because as you do this more, you will, you know, have a system that makes a little bit more sense to you in terms of the feel you're trying to capture. But yeah, we'll go ahead and put those there, and let's keep this a chord. Let's see how that sounds for now. Let's put an instrument on this, and I love the preset system that Nano Studio 2 has, and let's pick a sound. And let's make sure we've pushed play, launch on this. You can kind of hear, now let's put this with this. You know what I'm saying? It's starting to work already, which I think is real cool. So we'll go ahead and keep building this out. And we know we've got a little bit more space between this point here is a little bit more spaced out in terms of room than this point here. So we're going to sprinkle more notes throughout it versus just leaving them as a chord. But again, we can, you know, always change stuff later. And let's see how that sounds. So let me see. Space that out a little bit more. So a lot of it is trial and error and just kind of seeing what feels, you know, like it's fitting the vibe that you want. But again, you just draw a lot of these and it just usually works pretty well. And draw that in there, see how it sounds. And then can move this here and move that there. And you know what, actually I want to keep this as a chord. So what you can do in some of these cases is you can just duplicate or clone the note, and that way you kind of keep your original chord, but you also are able to get the melodic elements out of it. Put a little reverb on this. And I think that sounds pretty cool so far. And all we've done is just taken a chord that we quickly drew, some chord progression data that we quickly drew, assigned it to different instruments, and then just chopped it up. I mean, it was real simple. So the next thing that we will work on now is the drums a little bit. And I could play the drums in, but for the sake of the tutorial, I will draw the drums in. That way you can kind of follow what I do here. When you go into draw, you can go into grid repeat, go into 1/8 is usually what I'll start with. And you just draw across. And then we could go ahead and add a snap to it. Put it right here. All right. And do a little bit of a hi-hat roll here. Put a little triplet vibe right here and move that. So what I will do to next is do an 808. And for my 808, I'm going to go into the trap kit, 2 808s, and use one of these 808s. And what is so good about the trap kit, 1 and 2 808s, so you've got all these parameters that you can go ahead and customize. And I've got this link to Atom right here. So we will go back and see what our layers were. And we could go ahead and trace our root note from there. And we're an octave too high. We will fix that after we draw these in. And now that we've got these drawn in, we basically got a baseline template of what our 808s will be. Let's see, bring that down. And we could keep this as an instance to use elsewhere throughout the track for like a breakdown where we want the 808 to not be so busy. So I'll go ahead and put that on the clipboard. But what I will do right now for actually making the 808s is shorten them. And these are pretty good starting spots usually. Clone this. Go up an octave here. So clone that, go down an octave. Doesn't sound too good down an octave on this specific 808, so I will leave that like it is. What I like to do inside of Atom is use the slice tool and just slice it, kind of like Fruit Ninja. Back this up and clone it, or you can slice it, whichever you want to go with. It's your choice. what I would do to give this some variation is I would now make this 8 bars, go ahead and clone it and bring the octave down on this one, and possibly take out one of these. Gotta stretch this out to 8 full bars and copy that across. Now let's say I wanted to be lazy and not necessarily listen to where the 808s are, but I wanted to see where they're placed instead. I could go, okay, this is E3. I could go to my MIDI kit here and find the layer that has the 808s on it. All right, so we got E here, and I can go ahead and say, all right, there's a hit here, a hit here. And what you should do when doing this is have them all on the same level. Just makes life easier. There's a hit here and there. Now I could follow this across the entire piano roll, and just to make sure that everything is good, let's go ahead and put that hit right here. And then we will decide once we record it what we actually want to keep. And we know that it is, I believe it was E3, but it turns into E4. So there we go. We've got that, and we can go ahead and now just hit record, and we will get all of our MIDI data in that we have started. And I like to go a couple extra bars just to make sure I capture everything. So we've got all our MIDI data captured now. And after we capture our MIDI data, let's go ahead and just unlaunch all of the Atom instances that we were using. So let's go ahead and turn that off, and go here, turn this Atom instance off, go here, turn this Atom instance off as well. And then go here where we did our 808 and turn off that Atom instance also. And I believe after doing that, we should be good to go. Let's check out how it sounds. Sometimes what you will get when doing this is just a little bit of the notes hanging out. They're touching, and so sometimes it won't trigger that second note. So right now you can hear it's not triggering. Let me go ahead and solo this so you can hear what I mean. It's supposed to go do do do, but it's going. You see what I'm saying? We're missing one of the hits. Well, what we can do, turn off the grid, select everything, and just bring it back just a little bit. Bam. No problem whatsoever. So that's just a quick hack for that. And we will now play everything through. Now, I could keep adding to this, but for the sake of length of time with this video, I'm gonna wrap it up there. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. Let me know down in the comment section that you enjoy this type of content, and I'll keep on putting it together for y'all. But yeah, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss out on the latest news, tips, tricks, sales, beats, reviews, updates, and more. And last time I checked, Nano Studio 2 was on sale. It may still be on sale. Be sure to check it out. definitely worthy grab. If you like this specific piano roll workflow, be sure to check out Adam Piano Roll 2. And I'm gonna quit talking now and get up out of here. It's iPadBeatmaking.com. Peace.